KFI later with Mo Kelly. We're live on YouTube. Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. I got to ask you straight out the box on this Monday, because we may not be here Tuesday or Wednesday. Have you packed your bags? Are you ready to go? Sam, Dr. Sam, have you packed your bags? Are you ready?
I am all packed. I'm ready.
Okay, Mark Ronner, good evening. Are you ready? Have you packed your bags?
What am I supposed to be ready for?
You're not ready?
What? Sorry?
Oh, my gosh. Is no one ready for the rapture?
Oh, that's coming?
The rapture is coming in the next 48 hours, give or take 10 or 15 hours, something like that.
I missed that memo. What's the deal?
This city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportion.
What do you mean, biblical?
What he means is Old Testament, Mr.
Yes.
Mayor. Real wrath of God type stuff.
Exactly.
Fire and brimstone coming down from the skies. Rivers and seas boiling.
40 years of darkness, earthquakes, volcanoes.
The dead rising from the grave.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Enough, I get the point.
A South African pastor, and this has been spreading on TikTok like a disease, a South African pastor named Joshua Malakala said that he saw Jesus in a vision returning on Rosh Hashanah. Quote, "The rapture is upon us, whether you are ready or not," he said in an interview. "I saw Jesus sitting on his throne, and I could hear him very loud and clear saying, 'I am coming soon.'" Now, let me unpack that, okay? When you say Jesus is on a throne, you saw him sitting on the throne, I don't want anyone to mistake that like, I don't know, Elvis Presley.
You want privacy on the throne.
That's what I'm thinking, Mark, okay? That's the first thing. And when he says that Jesus, quote unquote, said, "I am coming soon," is that like soon as in 5 minutes from away? Or is it like soon as in I need to get a job soon or I won't be able to pay my mortgage? You know, the soon is relative to circumstances. But this is what I do know. Since I want to be clear with everyone, I am a Christian, and I understand how the rapture fits into Christianity. But it also says in the book of Matthew that man doesn't know the time nor day. You know, we don't know when it's supposed to happen. So how is it this one person in South Africa happens to know about that? Thank you, Blondie, but I didn't need you to sing it. I just needed you to say it. God. Step to... I don't know that, Blondie. Just say it.
You took time out to get that clip.
You bet your ass I did.
Okay.
We have to start with the most important news of the day. It's not Jimmy Kimmel. It's the rapture. We may not be here. Now, supposedly it's going to be happening on the 23rd and 24th, as in tomorrow and Wednesday. So clear your calendars.
I got stuff to do those days, though.
I do too, and I just need to know. It's like, can we get a countdown clock? Can you narrow it down? Do we get a 2-minute warning? I mean, hell.
Kind of rude, actually.
I mean, if we're all going to hell, let us know.
It's happening tomorrow. That means, they better have somebody ready to cover me on the board.
Well, is it tomorrow? Is it in Greenwich Mean Time? Is it, Pacific Standard Time? I don't know. I need to be very specific here.
Maybe it happens like New Year's. It just like every time zone gets, every hour another section of the earth gets the rapture.
Well, see, here's the thing. We're at this point on daylight time, okay? So if you say 5 o'clock, what does that mean for folks in Arizona who don't have daylight time? These are the things I just need to know, and Blondie won't answer me. I just asked what she thought about it, and she has to sing it every damn time.
You want to get your money's worth out of that clip, so play it a bunch more times, too.
No, I would never do that. I might circle back to it a little bit later. Oh, but what I'm really giddy about, we have to break out the Mo Kelly time machine. Because I remember it was on Friday. I said, hey, if Metro could go 6 months without a stabbing, 6 months, I might decide to start riding Metro again. Okay, let me play the audio for you so you remember exactly what I said and Mark Ronner said just 3 days ago. And to see it over the past 34 years or so grow into this, yeah, it's pretty commendable. It's just deteriorated into a cesspool of urine, homeless people, drugs, and crime. If they can get rid of that, I'd be all the way on board, honestly. My wife would be using it, I would be using it, and I would have no problem recommending anyone else to use it. Look, if they could go 6 months without someone getting stabbed, I may change my tune. But 6 months is a hell of a long time. Okay, I don't know if we'll be able to go 6 weeks without someone getting shanked.
Well, you need one of those signs like they have in public places, like X number of days without a workplace accident. And if you get up to 6 months, then you're good to go. I mean, it's not going to happen.
Okay, what is today? Today is September 19th, October, November, December, January, February, March. Okay, so we're talking about...
give 6 days.
It might be 6 minutes, okay? Imagine my surprise when fewer than 6 hours after that, a motherfucker got stabbed. Now, to be fair, it wasn't on a metro train, but it was on a metro bus. I just said metro. So as far as I'm concerned, it's the same organization, the same danger, the same shankability.
Shankability.
Yeah, you are able to be shanked and shivved on a metro apparatus, be it platform, bus, or subway train. I hate to call myself Nostradamus, but it looks like I just might have to on this day. I hate to do it, but someone's got to do it. It's either me or Blondie.
Wait, so if the rapture is coming, does that mean we can't give away any of the fantastic prizes we have coming up? I mean, we just throw those away now?
If we're raptured, and depending on the exact timing of the rapture, well, put it this way. If we're raptured, it doesn't matter if we give the prizes away or not. You're not going to be able to use them because the rapture is supposed to be tomorrow and Wednesday, inclusive, both days.
I'm sorry, but isn't the rapture supposed to only include people who are true believers?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's don't worry. There's going to be plenty of people left over that you can get these prizes to. They're going to need it.
Okay.
But the people the heathens, are they supposed to just stay here or do they go to hell?
Well, they party first.
They party,
they
then go
have
to
fun.
hell?
Yeah. I thought they stay here.
They
and
stay here,
live out the rest of their lives while everybody else gets escorted away.
Right, and they have no hope of ever ascending.
Never. No.
Okay.
So this is cool. Okay,
all right. So we can just let you know. We will be giving what? Well, I don't know about we. I'm rapturing out of here. Okay,
You're rapturing out of here.
How do I know? Blondie told me.
You know, I think she would actually tell you to ask Fab Five Freddy how this is all going to happen.
Those who know.
Yeah.
We will be giving away tickets this week to see UB40, as in Red Wine. That show is Sunday, September 28th at 7 p.m. at the Cerritos Center for the Performing Arts. And also we'll be giving out tickets for Get the Lead Out, the Led Zeppelin tribute band. They're dubbed as the American Led Zeppelin. And that show is September 27th at 8 p.m. also at the Cerritos Center for the Performing Arts. We have a pair each, Twala. Is that each?
2 pair for you.
We got 2 pairs for each show.
Yeah, 2 pair for each show. This is a big week.
Oh, okay. So in other words, if you're not a Christian or you're a heathen and you're not raptured, you're eligible for the tickets.
Basically.
All right. When we come back, we have to go back into the Mo Kelly time machine. I tried to tell you. Wouldn't even wait 6 whole days. Couldn't even get through the weekend without someone getting stabbed via Metro.
That's heading northbound right at Oso Parkway. It's taking up the right lane. You'll see some slowing as you come away from Crown Valley.
Have that. I called Hawthorne Auto Square. They said they could do about half the down payment. Others wanted today. My car is clean title, fully inspected, and it came with a warranty. They even said bring your own mechanic. They report to the credit bureau, so now I'm finally rebuilding. If you're getting a no, try Hawthorne. I'm driving the same day.
Got to take it back to Friday. We talked about this Friday, and I was saying I was willing to get out of my car. I was willing to even endorse Metro, have my wife, have my sons, even my dogs even, ride Metro. provided that they could demonstrate it was safe for 6 months in a row. Provided that they can show that no one was going to get stabbed in the next 6 months. I just asked for 6 months. I didn't ask for a year. I didn't ask for 10 months. I asked for 6 months. And I couldn't even get 1 day. This was what was said on Friday on this show. Mo Kelly Time Machine. And to see it over the past 34 years or so grow into this, yeah, it's pretty commendable. It's just deteriorated into a cesspool of urine, homeless people, drugs, and crime. If they can get rid of that, I'd be all the way on board, honestly. My wife would be using it, I would be using it, and I would have no problem recommending anyone else to use it. Look, if they could go 6 months without someone getting stabbed, I may change my tune. But 6 months is a hell of a long time. Okay, I don't know if we'll be able to go 6 weeks without someone getting shanked.
Well, you need one of those signs like they have in public places, like X number of days without a workplace accident. And if you get up to 6 months, then you're good to go. I mean, it's not going to happen.
Okay, what is today? Today is September 19th.
Friday.
October, November, December, January, February, March. Okay, so we're talking about...
give 6 days.
It might be 6 minutes, okay? That was Friday at about, I don't know, maybe 7:30. But about this time on Friday. I said 6 months from Friday. On Saturday, a 50-year-old man was hospitalized after a stabbing on a Metro bus in South LA. Happened around 3:50 p.m. So they got at least 6 hours in. They got about maybe 12 hours in. While the bus was in the area of 30th Street and Vermont Avenue, the victim, who has yet to be identified, was hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries, thank goodness. Detectives have not yet located a suspect, and the suspect is only described as a man in his 30s who ran from the area on foot, wearing a blue jacket and blue pants at the time of the stabbing. That should absolutely not narrow it down. If you see someone in their 30s, it does not say race or ethnicity. If you see someone in their 30s wearing a blue jacket and blue pants, I guess contact authorities. Hey, Mark, are you? No, you don't look like you're in your 30s. Dr. Sam, you might look like you're in your 30s. Are you wearing blue pants? Or were you wearing blue pants on Saturday?
I'm wearing shorts.
Okay, and Mark, I think is sitting ass naked in the news.
As always, but it's a bonus. He was wearing pants, though. You don't always see that.
That is true. Point taken. Point taken. Well, you know, Metro's out there just metroing. People getting stabbed. Absolutely nothing new. I was trying to give them at least a good faith effort that maybe after a week I could say, hey, they're picking up some momentum. Hey, it might seem like they're turning over a new leaf. There's a silver lining to this cloud. It's getting safer day by day. And I couldn't even get out of Saturday without someone ending up with a blade in their neck. I think it's in their neck. Somewhere. Non-life-threatening, though. And we're back to square one. So, yes, Mark, we need to have that sign as far as days since a workplace accident. We're back to zero. We're back to good old zero.
Who could have predicted?
You mean like the rapture or something?
I mean, except for all of us.
Well, look, we could have predicted. Blondie could have predicted. Rapture. I mean, Sam could have predicted. Daniel could have predicted. Tuala could have predicted. I'll tell you right now, it will not be another 6 months before someone else is stabbed on Metro. I'm willing to go out on a limb here and say it will be inside the next month. Someone will be stabbed on Metro.
You don't think sooner than that?
Oh, I know it's going to be sooner.
Okay.
I'm just trying to give them, like a,
That's generous of you.
Yeah, if I say a month, at least, it seems like I'm pulling for them. If I say it'll be this week, it means I'm rooting against them.
Now, would it be in bad taste to put down bets on this?
Oh, of course it'd be in bad taste, but let's do it anyway.
Okay.
Honestly, if I were to bet, not that I'm a betting man, but if I were to bet, I'm saying it'll probably be before the week is out.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Before Friday, someone will have another blade inside of them. And it won't be Wesley Snipes.
Sam's not going to give you a rim shot for
I know,
that.
but Daniel was out the
It's
hall
not going to happen.
laughing.
No. I'm going to say, let's pretend this is like stabbing poker. I'm going to say before the end of the week.
Okay. You talking about like isn't Tuesday?
Well, what? The end of the week is Saturday. I'm going to say at least Friday.
Yes, we will use the calendar in which Sunday is the first day of the week.
Okay,
Saturday. I honestly think it's going to be before we sign off for naming that movie Cult Classic.
I will call your Saturday, and I will see you Friday. Or raise you Friday.
Sam, you want to throw some chips in on this?
Can I do the Price is Right thing and bet $1?
the retail price is not going
It'll happen tonight.
Well, look.
Bold.
If the person gets stabbed, can we at least use acetaminophen?
I read that study. I've got issues. I've read the study that Trump was citing, and I got issues. I'll talk to you about that.
Acetaminophen.
Acetaminophen?
Acetaminophen.
I don't know if we can even say that on the radio.
Well, he said it, so I can say it.
He's the president, so yeah.
Well, he's the president, but I'm saying the FCC, the FCC is not on our side. The FCC can't necessarily throw us off the air for repeating the president, can we?
Acetaminophen.
Can you hear like someone in the background is trying to coach him along through the word? Listen real close.
Acetaminophen.
See, right there. Listen close. We're going to turn it off. Put your ear closer to your phone or the radio. There's someone speaking in the background telling him how to phonetically say acetaminophen.
Acetaminophen.
See, someone's trying to say aceta. You see it right in the background. Aceta.
Acetaminophen.
New rule. I'm going to go Bill Maher for a second. New rule. You can't ban it if you can't say it. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere. The iHeartRadio app.
Acetaminophen.
Now left to right, Hawthorne Auto Square offers 100% guaranteed approval. So if you had a repo yesterday, you can get a car today. Traditional lenders want 6 or 7 grand down or a cosigner. Here, our in-house financing and subprime partners often get you rolling for about half what others demand with no cosigner. Every on-time payment counts. We report to credit bureaus. Shorter 36 to 48-month loans means you pay it off faster with less interest and rebuild sooner. Every car is clean title and fully inspected in our own service center. Bring your own mechanic, kick the tires. We want you confident. Call and talk to one of our loan officers for an over-the-phone approval today, or you can apply online and get approved the same day. Hawthorne Auto Square. Apply now, drive today. Guaranteed approval, real credit rebuilding, real cars.
Play no games. KFI. Later with Mo Kelly. Live on YouTube and the iHeartRadio app. California Governor Gavin Newsom. He is pretty busy as of late. Signing stuff. Trying to change the law. Trying to get his profile out there as he gets ready to run for president. Yeah, he's running for president. I know he hasn't officially announced, but he's running. But he signed a bill today to roll back this planned tax increase on the state's legal cannabis industry. See, it's been real difficult for legitimate cannabis businesses to get off the ground and to thrive. And there's still a black market for cannabis because they can still undersell the legitimate businesses. AB 564 will not only reverse a scheduled 25% tax increase on the cannabis industry. So think about that. There was a scheduled 25% tax increase on legitimate cannabis businesses, as if that wouldn't put them out of business. And we've talked to a number of people who are inside the industry over the course of the years on this show and previously the Mo Kelly show. And they said the hardest thing about the business was the entry costs, where it's anywhere between $500,000 to $1 million to set up a legitimate dispensary. And then when you have the taxes on top of that, it's like, well, there's no way you can compete as a legitimate business as opposed to someone who's in their backyard and just growing stuff and selling it either on the corner or out of their house like that. You can't compete. And this was supposed to be an economic boon for the state of California, much in the way that the state lotto was supposed to be. But we all know how that turned out. This is turning out in a similar way. But in addition to this tax break, Newsom said that he's also taken measures to increase enforcement efforts against illegal operators. Okay, That's neither here nor there. You're not really making it substantively more it's simple or easier for legitimate businesses to get going or to thrive. According to the stats, since 2022, the Unified Cannabis Enforcement Task Force has seized and destroyed over 317 tons of illegal cannabis. So what does that tell you? There is a thriving black market for weed having nothing to do with this legitimate market. And the black market is doing much better than the legitimate market. And you may wonder, it's like, well, what's the upside of going into the cannabis industry? Well, if you can get in, if you have the money to get in, then it can be very, very fruitful for you. You know, it can be profitable.
Well, see, the thing is like, I think a lot of talk about the illegality of a lot of these businesses by the state of California. I think they use that a little too broadly and a little too loosely, because there are individuals who buy these licenses to open up. It is the actual distribution that they don't necessarily get, and they're promised, hey, yeah, you can open it up and it is legal, but if the police come and shut you down and arrest you, oh well. So it's almost like, yes, here's your license. You can put a plus sign in front of your store and advertise a green one. But if the police come in, well, then they're going to arrest you, and then that's just more money for us, because then you're processed and all that. So it is a big trick bag, so to say, for you to even try to get in. And it once again, it made it, when they first launched this, it was to try to decriminalize and make it more so that minorities could make legal money off of something that they were doing anyway, but they priced them out. They said, "Oh, right, you're never going to be able to actually make money,
not legally.
You can, but here's the thing: we're going to okay it. We'll turn a blind eye, but if you get caught, oh well.
Yeah, we won't actively seek you out and quote unquote send you to jail for possession, or limited amounts of distribution. But you sure as hell ain't going to set up your own shop.
Yeah.
Right where you are. You're not going to have you ever really noticed where dispensaries are? They're in the suburbs. They're not in the hood. They are not available to certain communities as far as a potential business operation. Now, the customers will come from all communities, but you look at the location of the dispensaries, they're not in the hood.
No, it's not. There's one not too far from us here in Burbank.
Yeah, Burbank. Torrance, all suburbs, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and now, you know, with the hemp market online, it's the amount of money changing hands is ungodly. The amount of money changing hands, which is not accessible to many communities, is ungodly.
Yeah.
It's later with Mo Kelly, KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. And I have a question, Rich, real quick. What is going to be coming first? Is it going to be the Rapture or Tylenol's lawsuit regarding autism? Because they're not both going to happen. I mean, if I'm a betting man, Tylenol, they're drawing up that lawsuit right now. And you say, Mo, what are you talking about? Well, you probably heard the president earlier today, and this is just an aside, a parenthetical. You probably heard the president today talking about how Tylenol is the link between, you know, not having autism and having autism. And he mentioned Tylenol by name. How do I know? Because he couldn't pronounce acetaminophen. That's how I know. And I'm saying, like, if you say Tylenol, that's a brand. That's not a medication. That's like saying Virginia Slims is responsible for all lung cancer. You know, or Coca-Cola is responsible for, I don't know, AFib. You know,
diabetes or something.
Yeah, congestive heart failure. You can't call out a brand. If you call out a medication or a substance, you would be okay. But when you call out Tylenol by name, look, he would have done better to just said acetaminophen.
Acetaminophen.
Instead, he came out with ass something. Asset.
Did he say ass eat a metafine?
Ass.
I'm just hearing this.
Okay. Let's see. Let's listen close. Let's put our ears closer to the radio or the iHeartRadio app on your phone.
Acetaminophen.
Acetam.
I think he's telling on himself.
Acetam. Ass It's like he's almost like he declared, I said it and I meant it.
Acetaminophen.
Acetum.
Acetum.
Acetum? Acetum?
Edom? Epstein Metaphin?
I think it's Epstein. He said, ask Epstein about him. That's it. We figured it out.
Acetaminophen.
Or close enough. It's going to be one or the other. It's going to be the lawsuit from Tylenol or the rapture. Oh, you know that was funny. And yes, we are still under 24-hour watch. Woo! So when the rapture begins, if it begins, we'll have it for you. We will go straight to the Campfire 24-hour newsroom, and Mark Ronner will start reporting on the rapture.
Wait, but what if it's like a Thanos snap, and all of a sudden I'm looking at you, you just whoosh.
We do the best we can with what we have, okay? All we can do is tell you we will try to stay on the air as long as we can, and if people start disappearing and fade into the ether because the rapture has begun, or if the mic all of a sudden goes silent, and I like all of a sudden mid-sentence you hear me talking to, that's the rapture.
Aren't you an optimist?
Look, come on, man. You got to think positively.
Yeah, okay. Well, at least your self-esteem's
healthy.
healthy.
Who is going to bet against themselves as far as not being eligible to be raptured?
Is that even in the Bible? I don't think that's in the Bible.
Well, put it this way. They do talk about the end times. Look, you talked about it in Ghostbusters. What are you talking about? Of course it's in the Bible.
Well, okay,
The
Ghostbusters.
city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportion.
What do you mean,
biblical?
What he means is Old Testament, Mr.
Yes.
Mayor. Real
Wrath
wrath
of
of
God.
God type stuff.
Exactly.
Fire and brimstone coming down from the skies. Rivers and seas boiling.
40 years of darkness, earthquakes, volcanoes.
The dead rising from the grave.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together.
Mass hysteria.
Enough, I get the point.
Mass hysteria.
Did I hear zombies in there? People rising from the grave?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, you did.
Now, this is exciting now.
Yeah, come on.
I keep talking about the Zombie. It's probably coming within the next 2 days.
We are living through history. This is the end times.
That was I think the plot of, what was it, Ghostbusters 2.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And we get to broadcast the end of the world, or at least the end of the world for some people. Did you hear about what the TSA is looking for? TSA is saying that you need to, well, you can keep your shoes on. You can keep your shoes on now. But you can't bring just any old toothbrush through the TSA anymore. Certain types of toothbrushes will not be allowed in checked baggages. I, for the longest, only used a manual toothbrush until about maybe 3 or 4 years ago. My wife got me hooked on an electric toothbrush. Changed my life. Changed my life. Only problem is you have to be careful when you travel with them, because depending on the battery, if it's lithium battery, you can't take it on the plane anymore, at least in your checked luggage. You got to keep it in your carry-on because it might get too hot and explode and take down the plane. So now they're checking, TSA, they are checking your bags that you send through the X-ray scanner for certain types of electric toothbrushes.
Wait, I'm sorry. You said you can check it in your carry-on, but not in your checked luggage.
Correct. Like your lithium batteries that you have for your phone and everything, you can have that in your carry-on. There's something about when it's placed in the pressure in the cargo hold, there's a propensity for these lithium-ion batteries. I'm not a scientist. I'm just
so it's just hotter down there.
It's hotter down there. The pressure's different. And if something were to happen and it were to start a fire, there's nothing that could be done.
I would just rather them say, don't bring it at all.
I don't either, because there are a lot of, I'll have backup batteries for my phone that I specifically do not take with me on a plane, because I don't want to have it confiscated and thrown away. Like that's $30 gone.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why I don't. And I assume that there are a bunch of other mother fathers who probably do it anyway, and I'll never know. And if the plane explodes, it'll take another 7 months for them to figure out, oh, yeah, it was a lithium battery in the cargo hold.
Well, this isn't good.
It sounds like you could actually do something about it if it's in carry-on. You can actually see the fire and smoke and do something. Don't pour water on it. Apparently, that makes lithium fires
Makes it
worse.
worse. Yes. Hopefully, I'll never be on an airplane having to figure that out. You know, someone's got a fire with their cell phone. It's like, does anyone have a water? No. Why don't you just throw grease on it? That'll make it even better.
So I have to take a carry-on now.
Mm-hmm. You got to take your toothbrush, at least the electric kind, in your carry-on. Or TSA will confiscate it and they'll do a full body search of you. Make sure you didn't put your toothbrush somewhere else. Okay, never mind. Is it the rapture yet?
I think all of us are waiting at this point.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm checking my phone.
What is your phone going to do?
There's got to be.
You're going to get a news alert?
I'm looking for the rapture countdown.
Well, there's no app. There's got to be a rapture app.
We got earthquake apps.
There should be a rapture countdown app somewhere. Someone should have put one together. That would have been very cool. Because I need to know. Look, I don't want to be caught with my pants down during the rapture. I don't want to be in the shower. I don't want to be on the John trying to push a deuce.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, right here on the Google store, Rapture Ready, Eternity Ready. These are different apps. Oh, the Rapture Detector. Okay.
All right.
Rapture Radar.
Now,
this is amazing.
Is it free or do you have to pay?
I think this one is free. Free app, yeah.
Oh, download that right away.
Oh, it's probably malware, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just buy it. We're not going to need the money.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm fully protected from the rapture. I have not really.
You don't need a condom. Just bareback it.
To take the rapture raw?
Raw dog, baby.
I don't know if I want the rapture raw.
Look,
that sounds like it's gonna burn.
Whatever you get, it wouldn't show up for 3 days, and by then you're raptured. Go see the doctor.
Okay. I love it.
Let's go beyond the box score when we come back, assuming we're not raptured between now and then. KFI AM 640, we got to talk about gambling. We have to talk about, what's his name? Bill Belichick, who brought his girlfriend down to the sidelines during the game. It's like really odd stuff, really weird stuff going on. That's next. Yeah, we're still here. No rapture yet. Nope, not yet. We're still here.
That's heading southbound just before Laurel Canyon Boulevard.
Dealers wanted $6,000 to $7,000 down and a cosigner. I don't have that. I called Hawthorne Auto Square. They said they could do about half the down payment others wanted today. My car is clean title, fully inspected, and it came with a warranty. They even said bring your own mechanic. They report to the credit bureau, so now I'm finally rebuilding. If you're getting a no, try Hawthorne. I'm driving the same day.
Later with Mo Kelly, live on YouTube and the iHeartRadio app. Good evening, Jackie Ray. It's always good to see you. Something we've discussed at length, and I think we've been ahead of the curve as far as media, big picture, as far as gambling and how it's going to undermine what we were talking about within the matrix of professional sports.
Right.
But now it's undermining college sports. You probably see the story by now. The NC2A gambling scandal has widened with overlapping cases involving, at this point, 6 named schools in a quote-unquote coordinated effort by a group to fix college basketball games. These are players who used to play at these schools. They're not named, but the schools are named: Eastern Michigan, Temple, Arizona State, New Orleans, North Carolina A&T, and Mississippi Valley State. All I know is if you name 6, there might be 26.
I was going to say, yeah, basically name everybody. And I am not at all surprised about this, because we've said this time and time again. When you start marrying these two entities, it's just a matter of time. And you're talking about young people. I can't ever say that I did anything nefarious when I was playing ball in high school and things of that nature, but I definitely would make wagers, if you will, against. This has been a thing. Kids do this. It's a fun thing to do. It's a little bit of trash talk. I could see this easily elevating into something else because of the financial payout. We are a greedy people.
Well, there are a number of things here. There's the financial payout. There is the acceptability of gambling in culture now. There are various apps. I don't want to call them by name. I'm not demonizing the apps, but I am saying that gambling is looked upon very differently in our culture, much more accepted. And there's so much money flowing through college sports specifically because of NIL, name, image, and likeness. It's not as odd, for example, to see players driving up in Mercedes-Benz or having all sorts of clothes and everything because it's not an academic, athletic NC2A violation anymore. There's a lot of money changing hands. So, yes, they're going to start using it.
Exactly right. It was a very slippery slope when you started marrying these two entities anyway. But I just didn't know. I guess what my confusion is about this, I'm never confused by the headlines. Like the headlines just kind of make sense. I'm a little confused as how everybody's like, I can't believe this is happening. It's human nature. People have been doing this before it was legal, so most certainly they're going to do it now that it is.
This is directly from the story. The investigation is now between the NC2A and the players directly. This is not just a University of New Orleans issue. It's a national issue. This is going on in a lot of places. The NCAA investigation at Eastern Michigan also dates back to January. Yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. NCAA issued requests for cell phone data for 5 individuals whose names are redacted. Eastern Michigan had 2 games flagged by gambling watchdogs last season. And, again, that's what they know. That's what they suspect. There's probably other less obvious, more subtle instances, questionable results or performances that might raise people's eyebrows, but maybe they just got away with it, some of it. But from what we can see, it's probably pervasive. And for me, I have to ask myself the question, are we looking at legitimate competition or are we looking at something closer to the WWE?
Oh, I've been saying closer to the WWE, and because now you've given people an incentive to do wrong. And I'm not trying to disparage anybody, but the second you started having, it was a trickle-down effect, the NFL, the NBA. Now you're seeing like you said, don't want to name the companies, on the sides of arenas or in stadiums and things of that nature. So you're advertising it. So you can't say, do as I say, not as I do. It's an unacceptable thing. So I've been saying this, and unless you're going to, how would you even police this? That's my bigger question. How would you police this? Because you can't.
Not until after the fact.
Right. There's nothing you can do. And every time you police it, however you police it, whatever things you put in play to kind of monitor what people are doing, they will think of something else.
And you can, when I say after the fact, it's only when you look back and see something that seems odd, out of place, or someone went 1 for 20, or, all of a sudden only played for 2 minutes, something which is out of character or against their pattern, does it raise anyone's eyebrows? And so you have to look back.
Right.
You can't catch it in advance.
Yeah. So now if I do have an injury, are you suddenly looking at me and saying, okay, you have this injury, you've never really been injured like this before, now we've got to start watching it's impossible to police, like you said, until after the fact. These students aren't even students anymore. So what's the penalty going to be?
Well, for them, it depends. If you can prove that they actually fix games, which is a tall order, and that's a heavy lift, then there are legal consequences. But the burden of proof, beyond reasonable doubt, you have to prove intent.
Right. You have to prove that they knew, not only that they tried to rig something, that they knew it would work. It's just too slippery. It's too slippery. But it's,
And after a while, you have to know that because there's so much money, there likely is some degree of cheating, some degree of betting and gambling, and some degree of dishonest sportsmanship. That's the only way to describe it.
Do you create a statistician that is now looking at every single game? And
I'm sure. I'm sure there's probably statistician algorithms looking for aberrations, anything which seems out of the ordinary. But again, that's looking back. You have to see it after the fact.
Right.
Someone has to deviate from an established norm for it to catch
end up on someone's radar, to raise suspicion. So yeah, I believe that we've talked about this, there is a huge sport ruining, no exaggeration, scandal on the horizon regarding betting, because it is so pervasive.
Right.
Before what they're telling us is pervasive and it's uncontrollable.
Yeah. And then you can end up with players who might have an injury, or maybe they had a bad day because they lost someone in their family, and now it looks like it's too slippery of a slope. Maybe you actually are legitimately hurt or something like that, but now on a certain day.
Well, it could be more subtle than that. It could be just forwarding information. You might have access to a locker room and know that, hey, there's a big game today between such and such and such and such, but I know the center is not going to play. Why? Because either I am the center, or I might be a trainer or someone in the locker room.
Now you got to look at media.
Right.
Got to look at media because we're in the locker room.
And so that information can be passed on, not even from the player directly.
Right.
And then that could all of a sudden be used for all sorts of money being placed on a game, a player, a prop bet.
It's a lot of people that you have to round up and start monitoring now. I don't know how they do this.
A couple of NBA players got hit last year.
John Porter was banned.
Malik Beasley.
Malik Beasley.
Yes.
Yeah, we talked about him too.
And those are the only ones we know of.
Right. Those are the ones who got caught.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to get real bad.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to tell you, I told you so, when it does. When we come back, and I don't want to connect these dots, but I think there's a conversation to be had, because Bruce Pearl, Auburn basketball coach, venerable coach, has been around for decades, has been very political in his pronouncements as of late. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, said he's stepping down a month before the season starts. Now, there have been rumors about him possibly running for political office, but the timing seems suspect. I want to talk about that when we come back.
Turn down left
And if
to
you're on
right.
the 101
Hawthorne
southbound
Auto
in
Square
Studio-
offers 100% guaranteed approval. So if you had a repo yesterday, you can get a car today. Traditional lenders want 6 or 7 grand down or a cosigner. Here, our in-house financing and subprime partners often get you rolling for about half what others demand with no cosigner. Every on-time payment counts. We report to credit bureaus. Shorter 36 to 48-month loans means you pay it off faster with less interest and rebuild sooner. Every car is clean title and fully inspected in our own service center. Bring your own mechanic, kick the tires. We want you confident. Call and talk to one of our loan officers for an over-the-phone approval today, or you can apply online and get approved the same day. Hawthorne Auto Square. Apply now, drive today. Guaranteed approval, real credit rebuilding, real cars.
Beyond the Box Score with Jackie Ray. We're live everywhere on YouTube and the iHeartRadio app. Bruce Pearl, if you know college basketball, he's a very, very famous basketball coach. He's been pretty successful. He spent most of his time, I think, at University of Tennessee with the Volunteers. He had 3 Sweet 16 appearances, 1 Elite 8 run. Never won a championship, but he's in that upper echelon of coaches. Listen to this. He was fired in 2011 after being charged by the NC2A with unethical conduct after lying during an investigation into recruiting violations. I'm going to put a pin in that because now he is the coach of Auburn, or at least for the next 45 minutes. He's the coach of Auburn, and then he just announced that he's stepping down as coach after 11 seasons. And you think, well, coaches retire, coaches, quit, but not weeks. If you don't know the college basketball schedule, October 15th is when the season officially begins, where teams can practice together and start having exhibitions. If you don't know, the coach can't be around the team at this time. They can't practice yet, not until October 15th. Well, October 15th is only 25 days away.
Yep.
Why would you step down now unless if there's something serious involved? I don't see any rumors about some sort of illness. I don't see any rumors about anything, which gives me great pause, because usually if it's innocuous, then you'd have some sort of explanation to that fact. My concern, Jackie Ray, and I would love to get your thoughts on this. My concern is that it's a combination of negative things. It's a combination of maybe something that he said, because he's very outspoken,
right?
Or something that he's done in regard to maybe recruiting violations, which is thrown in thrown the program into disarray. You saw the same story as me. Anything come to mind?
So the first thing I thought was illness, because I was like, oh, this is just too abruptly. This wouldn't happen if there wasn't something wrong. I didn't immediately think anything nefarious. But to your point, the more I read, because as journalists, you know that you're going to put, if this is your beat, you know a little something. And if you'd heard anything, you would have put that in there.
Right.
And so since I didn't see even sources say this might be anything like that, then his statement was kind of long that he made himself. So that made me feel like the organization is protecting their brand. And they're trying to make it look like this is a great thing. I'm not thinking about politics. I've got this other position now. So everything is still great with me in the organization. I feel like they're protecting their brand from something.
For those who don't know, there is a rumor, or at least was a rumor, that he was going to, given his political pronouncements, that he was possibly going to run for senator, state of Alabama, just like Tommy Tuberville, who was once the Auburn football coach, who then ended up running for Senate. That Bruce Pearl might do the same thing. My thing is, this is not the time to do that as far as time in the season, because you're leaving the program in a lurch if it's his decision. You're leaving the players that you recruited in a lurch. It leaves enough bad taste in people's mouths. That's not how you want to launch a Senate campaign.
Right. And so because it wasn't anything to do with his political campaigns, he didn't say anything about illness. And this would have been the perfect time, too. I am so excited to hand this to my son as he continues this legacy and we move forward in this family business, if you will. You could have tied it into that in some way. And the fact that you didn't.
And it's abrupt.
It's very, very abrupt. And you have to know that fans of the team, fans of NCAA, they're going to notice that this isn't quite right, because everybody immediately went to social media and said, oh, he's probably just doing blah, blah, blah. He's going to do his Senate run. That's really what it is. And he said very clearly that's not it. So now we're all wondering. And because we're wondering, in my opinion, at least in my experience, when you don't tell the truth as to why this happened so abruptly, why this couldn't happen at a later time, why this had to happen when young people are looking at you and they believe in you and they believe in the program, and that's why they're here, and now you've turned their back on them. You've either done something,
right,
or you've done something.
It's just a matter of what done something. I mean, it'd be different if he said, I'm stepping down, and also now I'm throwing my hat into the ring to be Alabama's next senator. That would make more sense to say, I'm abruptly resigning and nobody knows what the frick I'm getting ready to do. And it says to me, just from what I've known about athletic programs and violations, usually they want to get that coach out of there as soon as possible. So whatever comes down is attached to the coach and not the program going forward.
But they're keeping him in a capacity, though.
I don't know.
That's what's throwing me off. Because I do think they're trying to protect the brand, and then they buried that. That was deep in the story, that he's moving to another capacity, and then his son is there. I don't know what this is, but it's something. I would even have appreciated it if he said, someone close to me and my family is ill, and I want to tend to them and take care of them. Because what's the position he's getting?
It's ceremonial or something.
It's a ceremonial position. It's not like a big deal. But say something. And you've been in this business for too long to know that that this is the good time to not say anything.
And it's okay if you're going to be running for Senate. It really is okay. In fact, people think that that's your likely next progression because you've been so outspoken in support of the president and his policies and other issues unrelated to basketball. We always talk about the intersection of sports and politics and how people want to keep politics out of sports. Bruce Pearl was not one of those. He brought all his politics into the sport of basketball. And then now to have nothing to say when he's always had something to say.
It feels nefarious.
It feels like somebody's in trouble.
Because now, even if this is, I'm just dotting every I and crossing every T before I go into my political arena, any political reporter worth their salt is going to be like, but we asked you, you said no, now you started your career with a lie.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. We have to do this again next week.
We'll definitely do it.
It's Later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640. We are live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app and on YouTube. And I can still see Mark Ronner, so I'm still here. Mark is still here. Jackie Ray is still here. No one has been raptured as of yet.
Maybe we all got left behind.
Oh, that's possible.
No. Nope. I'm on the first bus out of here.
You think?
Look, nearer my God to thee.
I admire your self-confidence.
You have to. You have to. That's the whole point of being a Christian. You have to know. You have to know that you know that you know that you know.
If you say so.
I know.
Interchanged
Marcus had
Martin
a
Luther
repo.
King.
Traditional lenders want thousands down or a co-signer. Hawthorne set him up with a shorter 36 to 48-month loan and reported every payment. Here's the key. Lenders focus on your most recent auto loans. Pay that off, and old repos matter less. His car was fully inspected, backed by a warranty, with no deductible, and gap insurance was available. So he wasn't set up to fail. After an on-time payment streak, Marcus had options again. From denied to done. That's Hawthorne Auto Square. Call and talk to one of our loan officers for an over-the-phone approval today, or you can apply online and get approved the same day. Hawthorne Auto Square. Apply now, drive today. Guaranteed approval, real credit rebuilding, real cars.
FI later with Mo Kelly. We're live on YouTube and the iHeartRadio app. And let me start with this. This is not a top movie, but it's something that really jumped out at me. And when I see a movie like Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, and I'm a kid who grew up and saw, This Is Spinal Tap. It was like 1984. And I didn't think that the movie deserved or needed a sequel. But hey, there are enough fans out there. It got a sequel. It actually opened in 1,900 theaters last week. Last week was his first week. This was his second weekend. The budget was $23 million. After 2 weeks in theaters, and you had 1,900 theaters, that was a sizable amount, it's only grossed $2 million worldwide. Which made me which made me again think, like, wait a minute, who was asking for this? And this would have been perfect. I haven't seen it, but I suspect it would have been perfect for streaming. Why would you force that into 1,900 movie theaters and also have to share the profits with the movie theaters as opposed to just putting it on streaming? $23 million budget. They're not going to get 1/8 of that back.
Yeah, that's a write-off.
And it brought in a whole $361,000 this weekend. The whole weekend, $300,000 across. They lost 500 theaters, so about maybe 1,300 theaters only brought in.
I mean, it wasn't a blockbuster the first time around, so
it wasn't. It's a cult classic. Don't get me wrong.
Yes,
but it wasn't something that people were clamoring like, oh, we got to have a sequel. We need to have an update and go watch it in theaters. I don't know who made that decision, but it didn't make any sense. But anyhow, that just jumped out at me. Coming in number one this week again, Demon Slayer.
Absolutely
brought in another $17 million. Its gross is now up to, if this page ever loads, is $555 million. It's crossed the $500 million mark.
Yeah.
And I know, well, let me be clear. It's crossed the $500 million mark, having almost nothing to do with the United States market. $450 million of its $555 million total haul is international. So it's not a hit here. It's still number one.
It is a huge hit here by comparison to anime film releases. It is the highest grossing anime film released in the U.S., and it is one of the first to be released exclusively on IMAX. Like when they put this one out, it was like, we are doing this for IMAX, and it's one of the first ones to really get that real big push by Japan. And so this is a really, really, really big picture, especially for a market, a film community that is really struggling because there are so many strikes and there's such strife within Japan for the anime community as far as getting these films done and getting them made and put out and all that, series and everything. This is a major accomplishment.
Coming in number two this week, you heard Mark Ronner review it on Friday as part of the Ronner Report. Him, starring Marlon Wayans. I've not seen it yet. I've heard from a number of people who have seen it. Mostly disappointment. They thought it had potential, but then it just gets weird and predictable in the third act. Would you agree with that, Mark?
Well, it is weird, but not good weird. It's like incoherent weird.
Mm-hmm.
I think I compared it to a cologne commercial with spatter.
I hear good things as far as Marlon Wayans' performance, though.
Oh, he's terrific in it. He looks like he's having fun, but that ain't enough. It's a huge disappointment. I couldn't wait to get the hell out of there. I got to be honest with you. It was painful to sit through.
It's hard for me to understand when you have someone like Jordan Peele who may put his name on something like this. You would think that as a backstop, he wouldn't allow certain things to happen, or the movie has to be on a certain level for his name to be on it. And from what I hear from other people, it doesn't measure up to what you expect from a Jordan Peele production.
It is so disappointing and just such a stinker, like an outright stinker. I think I mentioned that it's going to go on my worst of the year list.
I mean, Jordan Peele, he is in the business of putting his name on films for projects for people that he believes otherwise would not get the chance nor the backing. And he believes in the art. He's like, you are an artist, and it is for the fans to see your creation, or maybe they will not. But if you believe in it and I believe in you, let's see what it does. But just know I'm putting my name on this because no one else will, because of who you are.
I salute him if that is his motivation. I don't think it helps his brand. It's in 3,100 theaters, so that's wide release. Brought in $13 million. That's let me look up the budget real quick.
It's so bad that if
$27 million, you don't make his money back.
Well, I mean, so okay, something like the movie you just talked about, the
Spinal
Tap sequel, that might have a long cult film shelf life. This one is going to disappear fast, I guarantee it. And it really forces you to wonder if Get Out was just a fluke.
It's to the point, I don't think Justin Peele directed this, so I don't.
No, he produced it.
Yeah, so I won't hold him to that same standard, but I will say that Jordan Peele needs a hit, or he ends up going the way of M. Night Shyamalan.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of comparisons, and this is such a terrible movie that if you see or read somebody defending it, you can instantly discount their opinion on anything ever. That's what a Rorschach we're looking at here.
That's too bad. That is really too bad, because I actually did want to see the movie. I haven't heard from anyone who said that they really liked it. The movie itself. Coming in at number 3, The Conjuring, Last Rites is still hanging in there. Brought in another $12.2 million. Worldwide, it's $400 million on a budget of like $4. Amazing.
Those movies are fun.
No, they may be. I'm just saying the ROI on those movies is the multipliers is ridiculous.
Always is on horror films.
Downton Abbey, the grand finale, came in at number 4. Don't care. We'll never see it.
Well, that really seems to me like your kind of movie, Mom.
No. Coming in at number 5, a movie I did finally get around to seeing, The Long Walk. Yeah.
You didn't care for it?
It was okay. I took your review into account, and put it this way, without giving too much away, these guys are walking hundreds of miles and somehow finding a way to sleep, to have energy to never shut the F up, and they're talking all the way through. And, I was taken a little back by the walking while defecating.
Well, you got to go.
I know, and I get it. I mean, that's the realism part of it. It's just, there's a...
Wait, they're allowed to sleep?
Well, they kind of... Sort of,
it's almost sleepwalking.
A couple of the contestants in this grueling contest sleep while they're walking, yeah.
Okay, I don't want to see this.
Right, if you really want to believe that, I don't know anyone could have kept up that pace for the amount of mileage that they're putting in.
You're aware this is a fantasy, right?
No, I get that.
It's
but
not a documentary.
The reason I say that is because when I'm on the treadmill, I'm doing my walking.
Yes, and you've never pooped on it?
No, I have
never
not.
once.
But I set it for 3 miles an hour, so I know exactly the speed they're walking.
And you've never dozed off either.
I've never dozed off, and I sure as hell would not be able to keep that pace for some 300 miles.
Like 5 days we're talking about.
Right. it's unbelievably laughable in that regard.
Well, that's why people are continually being executed because they can't maintain that pace. Were you paying attention to what you watched?
I was paying attention. I'm saying they all would have died within the first 4 hours of the first day.
Well, that would have been a short movie, wouldn't it?
I know. None of these are trained athletes. They're all like wearing hiking boots and stuff.
But they're desperate. The desperation is a key aspect of the plot.
No, they weren't. I don't want to get too specific, but a lot of them were not there because they were desperate. One was there trying to write a book or make a movie or some stupid stuff like that.
Well, I liked it better than you did.
No, you're just wrong.
Wait, so they're living in a world where this U.S. government says, yes, you can walk a bunch of young men for 300-some miles?
No, there's like a civil war or something. They don't give you all the specifics. And then this is like a sort of like a nationalism pride thing where these single men, for the most part, they walk to show their pride. And if you're the last one standing, you get a whole lot of money, supposedly.
So it's the Hunger Games.
They grant your one wish of whatever you want if you're the lone survivor.
Kind of.
The Hunger Games, but walking.
But
that's
not as ingenious as that.
Yeah, there's nothing entertaining about that.
The odds were never in their favor.
Boo!
You showed me.
Horoscope when we come back.
That's heading southbound from Lyons Avenue to the 14.
I had
You'll see the two right lanes off
Dealers
limits
wanted
there for
6
road
to
work.
7,000 down and a cosigner. I don't have that. I called Hawthorne Auto Square. They said they could do about half the down payment others wanted today. My car is clean title, fully inspected, and it came with a warranty. They even said bring your own mechanic. They report to the credit bureau, so now I'm finally rebuilding. If you're getting a no, try Hawthorne. I'm driving the same day.
Oh, I thought we just got raptured. My mistake. Wait, stop the music. Is everyone still here?
Still here.
Twala, you still out of here? Twala, where are you?
No. I'm here.
Is Daniel still there? Someone check on Daniel. Make sure he didn't get raptured. Because if he got raptured and I didn't get raptured.
Well, the video's still up.
Yeah, the video's still, but he may not be there.
No, he's running it. Wait, Daniel, come in here.
No.
So we can see you.
Daniel's not responding.
He's not.
So if that means he got raptured and I got left here, ooh, that's not cool. We're on rapture watch. Daniel.
Maybe they're doing it alphabetically.
Oh, snap.
I heard him laugh in the back with that one.
Okay, so that means he's still here.
Okay, Daniel's alive. All right.
All right, start the music. I don't know if we're going to get to the actual horoscope. Let's start. KFI, later with Mo Kelly. Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. It's Rapture Watch on Later with Mo Kelly. So if the rapture should happen to come, we'll be the first to tell you. Or we won't. One way or the other, you'll find out because we're on Rapture Watch. So we're like really, really over, so we don't have any time to read anybody's horoscope.
Oh.
Okay, Mark, you're Gemini. I'll read yours.
Okay.
You talk to everyone but listen to no one.
Oh, well, let's have the rest of it.
Charming? Absolutely. Witty? Without question. But for all your social butterfly energy, Gemini, you have a hard time actually connecting. You flit from conversation to conversation like you're sampling snacks at a party, never staying long enough to truly nourish or be nourished. Deep down, I think you're scared of being known because being known means being vulnerable. And being vulnerable, that's not in your script.
This is the first true one you've ever read.
Try staying still with someone long enough to be understood.
Wow. You're blowing my mind, man.
Dr. Sam, what's your?
Taurus.
I can't find out where this is. All right, here it is. Taurus. You cling to comfort like it's your birthright. Security is your sacred word, but let's be real, Taurus. Sometimes it's just stubbornness. Wearing a cozy sweater. You resist change, not because it's bad, but because it asks you to be uncomfortable. And you hate being uncomfortable more than anything. But growth doesn't happen in your favorite chair. It happens when you leave the house, emotionally, spiritually, sometimes literally. Your comfort zone isn't a fortress. It's a cage.
You know, look at how I dress. I am a creature of comfort.
No, I am too. I'm a creature of comfort and habit. Twala, you're Scorpio. You confuse control with intimacy. Scorpio, you feel things so deeply it scares you. So instead of letting people in, you monitor them, test them, play emotional chess just to see who flinches first. Here's the hard truth. Control is not the same as closeness.
Damn.
Guardedness isn't power. It's fear in disguise. You crave loyalty, but you sabotage it every single time, assuming betrayal is inevitable. Trusting someone doesn't make you weak. It makes you human.
Hey, stop. That's a little too real.
It's like they did a mind meld with him.
Yeah. Ooh,
Stop attacking us.
Here's Sagittarius. This is me. You run from anything that looks like commitment. You love your freedom, your wild, untamed spirit, your no one can hold me down energy. But Sagittarius, not every form of structure is a prison. Not every deep bond is a threat to your autonomy. The truth, you often run, not because you're adventurous, but because you're terrified of staying, of sitting with real emotion, of witnessing someone else's pain without fleeing the scene. Freedom means nothing if you're too afraid to be present.
I think you like to be held down.
I just like to be held.
Stay out of the news booth.
We're still here. We're still on Rapture Watch. We're still here.
I can't leave. All my stuff's here.
Well, if you get raptured, you'll find some stuff on the other side.
No, I like my stuff here.
Well, that's not how the rapture works.
Oh, okay.
Mark, milk and honey, rivers of it.
Adults shouldn't drink milk.
Paved with gold.
Listen to me. No matter what RFK Jr. says, adults should not drink milk, especially not raw milk.
Well, at least he can pronounce milk.
Acetaminophen.
What was that?
Ass at a minimum.
Is that? Oh,
Ass at a minimum.
well,
Acetaminophen.
who can't get behind that?
Oh boy.
Turn down left to right. Hawthorne Auto Square offers 100% guaranteed approval. So if you had a repo yesterday, you can get a car today. Traditional lenders want 6 or 7 grand down or a cosigner. Here, our in-house financing and subprime partners often get you rolling for about half what others demand with no cosigner. Every on-time payment counts. We report to credit bureaus. Shorter 36 to 48-month loans means you pay it off faster with less interest and rebuild sooner. Every car is clean title and fully inspected in our own service center. Bring your own mechanic, kick the tires. We want you confident. Call and talk to one of our loan officers for an over-the-phone approval today, or you can apply online and get approved the same day. Hawthorne Auto Square. Apply now, drive today. Guaranteed approval, real credit rebuilding, real cars.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And of course, one of the biggest real stories today outside of the rapture is Jimmy Kimmel. The announcement today, he'll be back on the air as of tomorrow. Now, there's an asterisk to it because from what I read, Sinclair stations are not going to air Jimmy Kimmel live. So we're talking about, I don't know the exact number. Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, but anywhere between like 20 and 30 stations.
I thought it was around 39-ish, but I'd have to check. We're both in the ballpark, though, one way or the other.
We're not talking about a lion's share of the affiliates which would be carrying the show. But it's significant enough for it to make mention of. I don't know what Jimmy Kimmel is going to do. What I mean by that is we don't know as far as the internal discussions, is what the expectation is going forward, whether he's supposed to address it directly or head on and say, hey, I'm back. Tuwala and I were tossing around whether there would be some sort of an apology. I hope not, because that would defeat the whole purpose of everything that he said up until this point.
I don't imagine there would be an apology. I've gone over what he said again and again and again, and I think it's been represented in a lot of mainstream coverage.
You mean misrepresented?
Yeah, misrepresented. Sorry. Yeah. He was mainly talking about MAGA's reaction to Charlie Kirk's death, and a lot of people are trying to frame it, or have tried to, as him, mocking it somehow, mocking Kirk's death, when in fact he sent out well wishes to Kirk's family.
He did do that, and a lot of times, people want, I say all this all the time, people hear what they want to hear. People assume what people have said. Yes, Jimmy Kimmel has been laying the wood to the Trump administration from the very beginning. That's not anything new. But when they try to assume then, because of that, he said something which was really out of pocket regarding Charlie Kirk, the man, that's just not what would happen. But neither here nor there. The question is, what's going to happen now that he's back? And also, back to what degree, talking about Sinclair stations, and what are the expectations of Disney going forward. I don't know how much the boycott did or did not figure into things. I don't know. I mean, I can't quantify it. Yes, they lost a lot of valuation due to subscribers canceling, so I can't push that aside. I don't know if that was what tipped it in the other direction.
Well, I read the figure was somewhere around $4 billion, and that hasn't really been updated today to my knowledge, but $4 billion will get your attention.
It'll definitely get your attention. And put it this way, from what I know about the business, I knew that Jimmy Kimmel was coming back at some point. One, because he was suspended. And if you know anything about contracts in this business, they couldn't fire him outright unless they knew something there was something that he did, which was they could fire him for cause and could void his contract.
Yeah.
If you heard what he said, there was nothing that he said that was either indecent or obscene or something that you could be fireable for cause.
Well, Rolling Stone reported that ABC executives reviewed it and found that there was nothing out of the ordinary or inappropriate at all or out of character with his usual material, but they were responding to implied, well, pretty
No,
heavily.
what's implied?
Yeah,
it was explicit.
They were responding to threats from the FCC commissioner, Brendan Carr, and President Trump. They were afraid of retaliation.
I'm glad you said that because I want to make this distinction for people to hear. I keep hearing this misguided comparison since it's ABC in both instances that what happened to Roseanne Barr is just like what happened to Jimmy Kimmel. And it's not. And I hope people are paying attention. What happened with Roseanne Barr, there was an internal decision which was purely on the basis of employer-employee. Roseanne Barr made comments about Valerie Jarrett, which were reprehensible, unconscionable, racial, all of that. And ABC, unrelated to any outside pressure in 2018, Trump was president, let's be clear, decided to cut bait with Roseanne Barr. And she did not sue. Why? Because it was obvious she violated some sort of term or clause in her contract. That's why she didn't sue. She probably got some sort of settlement saying, thank you, goodbye, and good luck. But there was no lawsuit in response. That did not have anything to do with the federal government looming over ABC stations or Disney saying, if you don't do this, then we're going to do that. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. That's an explicit threat. If you don't know how the FCC works, the only real mechanism that the FCC has directly is they can immediately fine someone. And usually if the fine has to do with indecency or obscenity, it's not, when you talk about the public interest, he's making that stuff up. He's literally just making it up. The FCC doesn't monitor for content which it likes or dislikes or they think is problematic. That's not a category to find someone. And so when Brendan Carr went out there and made the explicit threat, that makes it a First Amendment issue because then the question is whether ABC would have suspended Jimmy Kimmel at all if not for the threats of the FCC. Mm-hmm. And now that he's been brought back, it becomes even more clear that they probably would have done nothing, whether people appreciated that or not, whether the people were offended by what Jimmy Kimmel said or not. ABC/Disney probably would not have suspended him or did something public if not for Brendan Carr.
There's no question about it. Both Carr and President Trump have been very open in their statements about wanting the late night hosts who mock and criticize the president to be gone.
All of them.
It's not been subtle.
Yeah. All of them. And by name.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's not when he makes it a general statement about, unlike Charlie Kirk, and I'm paraphrasing, please, so I'm not quoting him, but he said, I hate my enemies.
That was at the memorial over the weekend.
So the animus is explicit and undeniable, specifically when he ties himself, the president, to the comments of Brendan Carr. Then you can say that the federal government is targeting Jimmy Kimmel. Whether you agree with it or not, the FCC played a role in how we got here. Going forward, we'll find out tomorrow night how Jimmy Kimmel plans to handle it. If he comes out all guns blazing, making jokes about the president, making jokes about anything. I think he'll tread lightly about anything Charlie Kirk. I don't think he'll steer clear of that. But if you can tell that he's in his natural form as far as how he criticizes the administration, then you can tell what those internal negotiations were like.
Trust and believe. Ask, eat, a meet, a mean. That's going to be on there. He's going after that.
Oh, there's no question.
Acid minifin.
Ass at a minimum. That's what I think it is.
Acid minifin.
Yeah. I'm quite sure he'll talk about the rapture too. It's later with Mo Kelly. We have more to talk about in regard to Jimmy Kimmel, who was announced today that he will be back on the air, Jimmy Kimmel Live, as of tomorrow. So we can kind of predict what may happen tomorrow or what may not happen. We may not even be here because of the rapture. We're on Rapture Watch. So we have to see.
Just before Chapman Avenue, it's taking up the right lane. You'll see some brake lights as you come away from the...
I called Hawthorne Auto Square. They said they could do about half the down payment others wanted today. My car is clean title, fully inspected, and it came with a warranty. They even said bring your own mechanic. They report to the credit bureau, so now I'm finally rebuilding. If you're getting a no, try Hawthorne. I'm driving the same day.
Until we're not, we're on Rapture Watch. In the event that the rapture should happen during the show, if you don't know, there was a TikTok, viral trend where people were predicting that the rapture was going to come. In fact, it started with the South African pastor who said the rapture was going to happen on September 23rd and September 24th. I don't know what the international dateline, whether that means September 23rd, South Africa. I don't know where in the day that's supposed to be. All we know it's supposed to be this week, and we're on it. And if for some reason the rapture should happen while we're on the air, you'll be the first to know.
I can't go. There's nobody who can fill in for me. We're kind of short-staffed right now.
Well, if you go, I don't think anyone really is going to care. The rapture's probably going to supersede everything else.
Well, you can't say that for sure. I'll tell you one thing. This really makes me appreciate modern technology and the internet, because in the old days, you would have had to get this information from a guy wearing a sandwich board on the corner.
Not only that, we would not even be informed of the rapture until the 11 o'clock news. We had the 5 o'clock news, the 6 o'clock news, and the 11 o'clock news.
Finally, the 24-hour news cycle is good for something.
For something.
And see, the 5 o'clock will tell you to tune in to 11 o'clock for the latest on the rapture.
For the latest.
Yeah.
Now you can listen to KFI, and we will tell you as we're being raptured. Raptured?
Rapturized.
Ruptured.
Ruptured, yeah. Jimmy Kimmel, we were talking about last segment, and he is going to return tomorrow night, Jimmy Kimmel Live. And we were just basically throwing around what that may look like, what that may sound like. How does Disney navigate this moment? And I say Disney because Disney has been taking it in the shorts with regard to the cancellations of subscriptions. And I'm not here to say that protest doesn't matter, but I am going to say that protest with a specifically designed goal does matter. And to Mark Ronner's point last segment, when you're talking about at least a loss of $4 billion in valuation, that's not nothing. I don't know if this will stop the churn of people unsubscribing, because if Jimmy Kimmel, we're wondering if he were going to apologize. If Jimmy Kimmel were to apologize or something like that, I think that would just piss off people all over again.
Yeah.
Who did cancel their subscriptions.
Well, and not only that, Disney had a lot to contend with when you have celebrities that are actively attached to Disney projects also writing in and saying how this needs to be corrected. It was a lot for the company to deal with. I mean, you know, the protests that were happening literally right next door at the Disney lot. Like I passed by on the weekend, I was like, oh yeah, they are out there. And it was deep.
I do have to say this. It's kind of funny to me because there was a portion of the country which was already boycotting Disney for being so woke. Okay. Yes. So they were already pissed off at Disney. Then you had the people who were quote unquote woke who started then boycotting Disney, and Disney's like, hey, we're getting it from both sides. It's like every return, people are boycotting us. So I don't know if Disney made the calculation that, hey, we have to do something to please somebody because this path is unsustainable. I don't know if they calculated or miscalculated the type of response which is going to come from Jimmy Kimmel being suspended. But I knew since he was suspended, he was always going to come back. And I said this publicly online and in social media and elsewhere. When they suspended him and didn't fire him outright, that said to me they didn't have the goods to fire him with cause. And they were going to have to mediate some sort of separation agreement, or they were going to bring him back. And so they brought him back.
And it's not just celebrities. How often do you see this? Disney's previous CEO, Michael Eisner, came out and just blasted Bob Iger.
Sure did.
Blasted him.
Sure did. It's like, what are you doing?
This is notable.
Yeah, that's very serious.
I'm actually surprised that Disney, the corporation, which is not a stranger to controversy, made a knee-jerk response. They could have waited a day or two.
Well, everybody was horrendously touchy last week for understandable reasons, but Disney just backed the wrong horse, made the wrong choice in the moment, caved to pressure, and they just didn't seem to understand the fundamental truth of the situation, which is we don't do that in this country. And that's not me editorializing. We literally don't do that. The First Amendment is the law of the land. It's one of the founding principles of the United States. And no president, Republican or Democrat, can just zap that because they don't like being criticized or mocked. That comes with the job. What if Biden had tried to do that with Fox News? He never said a word even close to that, and we just don't do that in this country.
Unsurprisingly, I am aware that most people don't actually know what the Constitution says. Most people have never read it. Most people don't know what the First Amendment actually says, and most people don't know how it applies within circumstances like these. And so people talk about, I love the Constitution or this amendment or that amendment. And it's like, you've actually never read it before.
It ain't a la carte. You got to take them all.
You got the whole thing. And people want to say, well, this is censorship. It's like, no. There's a distinction to be made between an employee internal matter. In other words, if iHeart were to fire me for something I said on the air, that's an employee related matter. And, I am using their station. They're allowing me to use their station and be able to broadcast. I don't have a constitutional right to a job. I think we all can agree with that. But this is different when you have external pressure being exerted specifically by the President of the United States himself, and also an arm of the federal government, the Federal Communications Commission. That makes it completely different.
Yeah, I've seen analysts since then saying that Kimmel could essentially own ABC in a lawsuit after this.
Oh, he could sue, and I think that's part of the reason why they brought him back so quickly to, if anything, lessen the likelihood of that. But, he's back. We'll find out what he's going to say tomorrow. And, of course, that's going to be must-see TV because everyone wants to see how he's going to approach his return. Is he going to act like nothing happened, or he's going to say, I'm back, biatches?
I'm glad you brought up the viewership because I guarantee you his numbers are going to be absolutely through the roof tomorrow night.
Through the roof. And this is kind of, sort of like Stephen Colbert Part 2. In the sense that you have the similarity of late night hosts backing one another, and then you're going to see them, I think, collectively have a response. Yes, it'll be Jimmy Kimmel's moment tomorrow, but Colbert is going to have a response in light of what Jimmy Kimmel is going to say coming back, as well as Seth Meyers or anyone else.
Well, this has a lot to do. There's some similarities between Kimmel's situation and Colbert's because both involved mergers and not wanting to piss off the people who would okay a merger. And the irony of this situation is that any corporation that runs a bunch of TV stations that caves into political pressure like this is proof they shouldn't be allowed to have mergers and get larger.
And this also sets the stage for the next time that it happens. And it will. There will be another time. I don't know whether it's going to be Seth Meyers. I don't know if it's going to be another incident with Stephen Colbert, who obviously has the freedom of knowing that his show is not going to be around in a year, so he can say whatever he wants.
And he has been.
And he has been. But it still remains to be seen as far as who's going to take that next step and ratchet up this fight over what can or can't be said over the air. In other words, does the FCC try to fine the ABC affiliates to take it one step further or not? Who's going to make that next step?
One byproduct of this is that we're guaranteed to see more scrutiny of media consolidation, which is never good for the consumer. Not the scrutiny, the consolidation.
Not in any industry. It didn't help with the consolidation in the music industry. It hasn't helped in the television or the film industry. It didn't help in the car industry. It has never helped when you have these big conglomerates, or it hasn't helped in social media. Yep. There's never an example of how this consolidation, which works against the whole idea of competition, has been good for the consumer. It's Later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app and on YouTube. Still no Rapture. But when we come back, we have to talk about this new trailer which dropped. The Mandalorian and Grogu. Speaking of Disney. That's next.
Turn down left to right. Hawthorne Auto Square offers 100% guaranteed approval. So if you had a repo yesterday, you can get a car today. Traditional lenders want 6 or 7 grand down or a cosigner. Here, our in-house financing and subprime partners often get you rolling for about half what others demand with no cosigner. Every on-time payment counts. We report to credit bureaus. Shorter 36 to 48-month loans means you pay it off faster with less interest and rebuild sooner. Every car is clean title and fully inspected in our own service center. Bring your own mechanic, kick the tires. We want you confident. Call and talk to one of our loan officers for an over-the-phone approval today. Or you can apply online and get approved the same day. Hawthorne Auto Square. Apply now, drive today. Guaranteed approval, real credit rebuilding, real cars.
Disney Plus TV show starring Pedro Pascal. KFI AM 640. It's Later with Mo Kelly. Live on YouTube and the iHeartRadio app. The Mandalorian, the TV show on Disney Plus, the stream show, was a huge hit. I think it revitalized true Star Wars fans, and I would count me in that number. It had the feel of really good Star Wars. There were some episodes directed by the late Carl Weathers, Dave Filoni, and we thought if the Star Wars franchise were put in their hands, it would be in an okay place. Then they announced, after I think 3 seasons that they had, they're doing a Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Grogu, if you don't know, it looks like a little Yoda. They called him baby Yoda for the longest. And it was a surprise success, I think, for many people. They didn't expect it was going to be so popular. And maybe, and not to be conspiratorial, maybe they dropped the trailer for this movie to distract from what was happening elsewhere with Disney Plus and the issues with Jimmy Kimmel. That's part of the reason why we're talking about these things at the same time. I think this was an unplanned release of the trailer because the trailer was really bad. The trailer seemed incomplete. The trailer did not seem like it was ready for everyone to see. It did. Look, if that was supposed to, we're showing it right now on the YouTube channel, but if this trailer was supposed to get me excited, then it didn't do its job, and they need to go back to the drawing board, because it seemed like Star Wars for kids all over again when The Mandalorian was priding itself on not being for kids. Yes, there was a cute element in baby Grogu, but still it was serious Star Wars for serious Star Wars fans as far as the show. This trailer just looks like, for 12 to 13-year-olds.
I mean, it is a literal mishmash of scenes thrown together where you don't know what's happening. It looks like the misadventures of the Mandalorian and Grogu. And I mean, I said to myself, okay, look, no disrespect to the Skeleton crew, but this is like coming behind the Skeleton Crew. It's not coming behind the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Ewoks, all the worst of the original Star Wars, where it's like,
okay, come on.
No, I'm being very serious. It seemed like it's made for merchandising and marketing and a demographic between 8 and 14. Not anyone older than that. That is my fear, and that's why I stopped going to the Star Wars movies. This was supposed to bring me, hopefully, back into watching Star Wars movies, and it just doesn't seem like it's for me at all.
All right. I say this with love and respect. I think the two of you need cognitive exams. I saw this trailer and I thought it looked like a ton of fun. The only thing that struck a sour note for me was Grogu, the baby Yoda, saying at the end something like, "Oh yeah, baby," or something like that. That seemed out of place. But the rest, you got Sigourney Weaver. She's nerd royalty. I didn't know that she was going to be in it. It's got tons of action. You get to see the Mandalorian flying around in his jetpack, which is cool. Shooting people.
Yeah, that actually wasn't Grogu that said anything.
It was the other guy.
That was the other
right.
little character they introduced in the Mandalorian series.
Yep.
Another little character, cute little character that they're going to merchandise.
Whoever it is, it just sounded like an anachronism that seemed out of place in the Star Wars universe. That's all.
Good shot, Grogu.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
Let me put it this way: Star Wars prides itself on having a big bad, a central villain, which is usually highlighted or foreshadowed in the trailer. Tell me who's the villain in this movie, Mark?
You right now.
I'm not
you're
in the movie.
You're the bad guy.
Oh, I am the bad guy, but I'm saying in the movie, look, for the people who don't know, this is set during the time after the fall of the Republic. And you have Darth Vader out there trying to snatch up everyone who is actually after the fall of the Empire. Because we see Luke, he is dispatched the Death Star, the first Death Star.
Yes.
So we have Darth Vader is still in play. We have Luke out there who's a Jedi Master. Where is the villain for this?
Listen, the Mandalorian is shooting giant robots in the crotch. You need more than that?
Actually, I do.
I mean, shooting giant robots in the crotch, to me, it reeked of a fart joke.
Yeah, it did.
It just, I'm sorry, just shoot him in the crotch. I could just hear the robot going, ow.
Unserious.
I'm just
And,
sorry,
it's nice to see Sigourney Weaver, but
I
okay,
love Sigourney
this
Weaver.
ain't Alien.
I love Sigourney Weaver, but not stopping Grogu from pulling something across the table with force power.
You know what that reminded me of? It reminded me of Laura Dern and Vice Admiral evening gown in The Last Jedi.
I'm not going to defend that. Those Abrams movies were trash, but
No, that was Rian Johnson. Let's get it right.
But wasn't he the producer of all of them?
I don't know if he produced the second one.
No.
I didn't
Just
like
the
any
first
of
and third
them.
one.
I didn't like any of them. But the one thing we agree on is that the Mandalorian show is one of the best Star Wars things of all time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It honestly got taken over by Andor, in my opinion. Andor is phenomenal
It's
as
right
far
up
as
there for
Star
sure.
Wars goes.
I would choose.
I can't say a negative
I
thing
would
about
choose
it.
Mandalorian because it had more of the Star Wars-esque action that we're all accustomed to and associate with Star Wars. Andor is much more cerebral. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying it's a different type of good.
A whole different vibe. The Mandalorian was essentially a space spaghetti western, and Andor was a political thriller.
Yes.
I think maybe that's why I loved Andor so much, because Andor was like, oh my God, this is what I've always wanted from Star Wars. But I feel you. When of the two, I'm an Andor fan. But Mandalorian, and I think because the way the Andor ended, and when you think about the way the Mandalorian ended, it ended with Mando and Grogu sitting on a farm chilling. I remember we all griped about that, like, oh, come on, man, not chilling and going out on the farm. No.
Yeah, just looking at them on the backside. It's like, come on.
Staring out into the sunset. That was kind of like So looking at this, I'm like, oh, so you picked up from the porch scene, huh?
It just feels like it's a buddy cop movie, like Turner and Hooch, or Tango and Cash.
You went Turner and Hooch.
Don't play the Turner and Hooch card.
But
That's just rude.
It just seemed like it's a buddy cop movie where they, to Twalla's point, the misadventures, and they could do this and they do a little bit of that, and it's like, no, I need some like Darth Vader, some Inquisitors, some bad dudes out there who are looking for force sensitive beings as Star Wars lore during that time period.
Now, Mark, you can't tell me that you would not appreciate much more a film about the Mandalorian defending Grogu from all sides with an onslaught of Inquisitors or Vader, or just them being on the run from individuals trying to capture Grogu, and it just being an all-out just action, I don't know, extravaganza.
I think a great film would be The Mandalorian defending Grogu from a couple guys who hate fun.
And I mean this. Hey,
damn it.
Hey, Mark, I mean this very respectfully.
Yeah.
Kiss my ass, okay? Just
Well, you're all ass.
kiss
Where
my
would I
ass.
start?
Both cheeks, right and left.
Jesus.
Can
Derecho,
you use a
izquierdo.
Sharpie?
I didn't say right on it. I say kiss it.
No, I mean you, for just to delineate
Mark,
which
yeah,
part
Mark,
is ass.
Mark, you have to find the acetaminophen.
Maybe the medications will help.
Acetaminophen.
Lenders want thousands down or a cosigner. Hawthorne set him up with a shorter 36 to 48-month loan and reported every payment. Here's the key. Lenders focus on your most recent auto loans. Pay that off, and old repos matter less. His car was fully inspected, backed by a warranty, with no deductible, and gap insurance was available. So he wasn't set up to fail. After an on-time payment streak, Marcus had options again. From denied to done. That's Hawthorne Auto Square. Call and talk to one of our loan officers for an over-the-phone approval today, or you can apply online and get approved the same day. Hawthorne Auto Square. Apply now, drive today. Guaranteed approval, real credit rebuilding, real cars.
And yeah, we've been talking about it here as well because I guess it's supposed to start any time now in South Africa. It's September 23rd, so it could be any minute. It could be like right now. It could be any time. You just never know.
I wonder if South Africa's still here.
We don't know. You know, it's almost like the movie War Games. We have a phone line open to find out if the missile hit, and you're trying to find out whether it's still there. Someone needs to call South Africa. Hey, Sam, can you get someone on the phone? Like, call Elon Musk and say if he could call some of his relatives or something?
I will call South Africa right now.
Okay, I appreciate that. Mark, do you know anybody in South Africa we can call?
I'm afraid my list of South African contacts is kind of sparse.
Tuala, anybody? I don't know anybody in South Africa.
I don't know anyone. I'm just going on Facebook right now, and I'm just looking up South Africa to see if it's actually there, if there's been a mass exodus by way of the rapture.